Hello, this is Mr. Johnson. Now that you've gotten into Google Classroom, I want to show you how to access your Google Slides app. So let's get started. There are actually a lot of ways to get into it. So first things first, look up to the top right on any Google homepage. If you see the top right part of the screen, you'll see if you are signed in. If you are, you should see either the first initial of your first name, or if you programmed in a picture, it'll show up as a picture here. If you haven't signed in, please make sure you do so before you start. Once you're signed in, over here on the little waffle thing, it's the Google Apps page. You can click on this and you can access your slides by coming down here and clicking on Slides. Another way to do it is if you want to search, you can search in either this search bar here or up at the top here. Just type in Google Slides, and it'll be the first one that comes up right here. Well, I guess the second one. Click on that, and it's going to be docs.google.com/presentation/stuff. So here's what yours is going to look like. This is our Slides page. This is how you know you're in Slides. To create a new one, you're going to click on blank right here, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And let's walk through some of the stuff that you can do with this. On the right-hand side, it'll start off with saying, hey, let's put in a theme of some sort. So if you click on one, maybe search for one that you like, it's going to add a nice border to it. It's going to make things look pretty. And you can scroll down and pick whichever one you want, but I recommend you start out with a good theme first. After you're done with your themes, you can close it by hitting this X up here by themes. So we'll do that. If you need to add a new slide, come up here to slide, click on this, and click on new slide. And then your goal is to start to add a title that is based on whatever project you're working on. So for instance, one of my scholars is working on his year-long project about luxury cars. So let's go ahead and say our title is luxury cars, and you would put in your name on the front. Make sure you do that. And then you can change the font size if you want. When you highlight text, you can come up here to this little number, and that says font size. You can click on that to make it bigger or smaller, depending on what you like. Maybe that's a little too big. Find something that works for you. You can even change it to be bold text if you want to underline it, if you want to change the font color to something a little different, maybe a darker color. You can totally do all of that. Coming over here to our next slide, there's areas for a title and for text as well. These boxes are very important. You'll see these little blue buttons on the side. If you click them and you hold down the click, you left click it with your mouse or your laptop, and you hold it, you can drag it, and that changes the size of your text box, which is important because you're going to want to insert some pictures. So you can put the text wherever you want. You can kind of anywhere up here along the bars, you can click and you can drag it around to move it. And you can position it wherever you like. Now that's important because your facts go here about whatever you're talking about. If you want to put in a picture, here's how you do it. Come up to where it says Insert up at the top. Click on Insert. And we're going to click on Image. And then if you have any pictures on your computer, you can click on Upload from Computer. Otherwise, it's much easier to search the web for them. Click on this, and it'll come up with a Google search right over here on the far right. Now, I know for sure for this luxury car, the McLaren was one of the pictures that he was working with. Yeah, look at those. Those are great. So if you find a picture that you like, you can click on it, and you can either say insert down here at the bottom, or you can just click and hold it and you can just drag it in and it'll appear. Either way, it'll show up, whichever way you choose to do it. And so then you can kind of reposition it by clicking and holding. You can drag it. These red lines that come up are very important. They show you how it's going to align with the rest of the slide. So for instance, right now there is a red line on the far left, right here. Bing. That means that it's centered, right? Or at least this edge on the left side is centered with the right, or with the picture. If I slide it over here, that red line appears again, and now that means it's exactly in the middle, which is great. If I slide it up a little bit more, a horizontal line appears, and that means it is super in the middle of the page. I don't want it there. I'm going to slide it over here a little bit. So I think I do want it centered there. And right about there is good. And so then you would say, you know, make sure you have your title, make sure you have your facts and information, and you can even use bullet points to help you, like these. Fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, and again, those are up top here where it says bulleted list. Super helpful. A lot of ways to do it. Let me give you a couple of quick examples of some slideshows that have been turned in that look really good. So let's take a look at Mr. Andrews here. So he chose to make his picture in the entire slide, which was really cool. And then he chose to change the font, change the color of the text so that you can actually read it. So that's awesome. He has his facts over here in a font color that is readable. Probably better if it was a little bit larger, but that's okay. He did the same for these. All of the cool facts that he wanted to include. Fantastic. Another one over here. Another example is this one, The Stonefly by Emily. She chose to do more of a single picture and then facts on the side, which is great. And then each of her slides are organized. One is just general facts. This one looks like it's all about the life cycle, right there. And these facts are all about adaptations of the creatures. Pretty cool. And so there are a lot of ways to do this. There's no correct way. So I'm really excited to see how you present your information. Okay, good luck. Bye.